Alright gang, we're back from gym, got my coffee right here as always. Welcome to gloomy Helsinki. Today is actually kind of a special day because it's my last day of work this year. So I need to tie up a few loose ends and make sure nothing blows up over the next couple of weeks while I'm gone. And also if you're wondering where all the paintings are and why this place is looking a bit more empty than usual, it's because I'm moving on the 1st of January next year. And where is it that I'm moving? I don't know, we'll see. Don't worry, the moving vlog is coming soon with the empty house tour and all of that, so I won't leave you hanging. But today I also wanted to take you through my tech stack going into 2025, so hopefully that's gonna give you some insights on what you should be studying going into 2025 if you wanna get into web development. Now, quick background of me, I'm a full-stack engineer with around 2 years of full-time experience. Before that, I had a couple of internships. And no, I don't have a CS degree. Then, let's get into the business and start off with the front-end side of things. Here, the biggest thing is React, obviously using TypeScript with it. And before anyone asks, why don't I use such and such framework? It's because if I was jumping to the newest framework every week, I wouldn't get anything done. For me, the programming language and the things around that are just tools to achieve my end goal, which is to build cool products that customers love. So the tech stack is just my toolbox, if that makes any sense. I don't need to upgrade my hammer every single week. Now that said, React is fast, supports cross-platform development, so mobile and web, and has great tooling. Building on top of React, I use React Router for easy routing for my apps, as well as this open source project called Zustand if I ever need to add global state to the app. It's lightweight and doesn't trigger any unnecessary re-renders, which can make your app feel slow, trust me. Now I'm quite picky of the data that I add to the global state, since often you really don't even need to add data there and could handle the data in another way. Of course, pure React doesn't look like anything to the customer, so for styling I'm using styled components. It's basically CSS in React components. One downside to this is that you still have to write pretty much raw CSS, which we all probably hate. Moving on to the dark side, we got GraphQL. And the reason I like it is that your frontends can fetch exactly the data they need and nothing more, nothing less. Also, it has this resolver architecture instead of having to build multiple endpoints. So if you make API changes, for example, to change the data that the endpoint returns, then you don't need to maintain two versions of the same endpoint until everyone switches over. Instead, you can just add the new fields to the resolver and the clients can pick whatever data they need from the endpoint and ignore the rest. Of course, building a GraphQL API is a little bit more work than your classical REST API, which is why sometimes I just spin up a classical Express server. It makes sense for simple CRUD apps and smaller projects. Lastly, I want to touch upon the infra side of things. Basically all of my projects run on AWS, and this is one of the easiest areas to over-engineer since there are so many different services that you probably don't need, but AWS makes them sound super important. But just to give you a brief overview, some services I use are Elastic Kubernetes Service or EKS, which is basically a Kubernetes service managed by AWS. Another one is Virtual Private Cloud or VPC, which allows you to control the connections for your applications. For example, isolate your backend services from the general internet so that people don't have access to it. And lastly, everyone's favorite Lambda functions, which are a way to run pieces of code without actually hosting any servers. But yeah, let's not go too deep into the nitty-gritty stuff. I feel like this is a good overview of the tech stack. Honestly, if I was hiring a junior or an intern and I saw someone build a complete project with this stack, hosted and everything, then I would definitely give them an interview. Is it easy? No, but it's not supposed to be easy either. Otherwise, everyone would do it. Something just came in the mail. And no, this isn't sponsored, but check this out. So as you've seen in my videos, I have this monitor light bar right here. The problem I have is that it kinda comes on top of the screen right here, as you can see. And that really started to piss me off, so I ordered this.
by myself, not a care in the world. This is a life, just me, myself, and I am watching the clouds up in the sky, all but laughing out loud. I'm telling you why I'm living the life, just me, myself, and I used to think that life was cold and lonely when you up and left me, sadness overwhelming. For me, I am out and about, painting the town red, I'm coming around. There ain't no doubt about it, I'm no longer blue. So glad we are through, just me, my